Welcome to the channel. There is a board for the MiSTer FPGA called an Ironclad LITE. It is an ATX board, so you can put a MiSTer FPGA into a PC case or any case that supports ATX or Mini-ITX systems. We're going to go on a journey together, taking this board, taking a good working MiSTer FPGA, disassembling that and putting that MiSTer FPGA onto this board and testing it. I hope you enjoy the journey. Welcome to the install video for the Ironclad for the MiSTer FPGA. The Ironclad is an ATX board that we are going to be running on our MiSTer FPGA. This is a standard looking MiSTer FPGA that is all set up and all working. We can grab this joystick here and we can fire on a couple of things, bring up a menu, and we can go to arcade and we can boot anything. Let's do 1941. It doesn't really matter what we're going to be booting for the sake of this demo, but it loads in and it's working absolutely fine. You'll be able to see it very sort of dimly on the small little screen that I've got there. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take that system that we have here and we are going to install it onto this ATX board. Essentially what we're doing is we're taking the middle board of the stack, the Nano DE10, that's going to be installed on here, and this board comes with three parts that are probably fairly important. We've got this cable here. This cable will connect to this port and go onto the DE10. We've got this little device here. This is for the USB, and that's going to go there. And finally, we've got this here, which is a network cable, and that network cable is going to connect from the DE10 into this port here. And then we're going to fire up and we're going to get this going. What I've also designed is, very crappily, I printed it very cheaply, so to speak, quick rough print, and the print actually lifted as well on the bed, was this little board just to rest it on. The whole purpose of this is to give me a build board. The Nano D10, when it plugs into this, you've got a few ports available on the back of the case as well. So you've got USB, you've got audio out, you've got HDMI, you've got a couple more USBs, you've got the user I/O, and a few other things that you can see here as well. And it's also got 9-volt DC that's presented on the board here, and this is new to this version of the board. The link where you can get the Mini-ITX Ironclad LITE will be in the video description below. So without further ado, the first thing we need to do is we need to take this apart and we need to basically get this on top of here. When you get this board, you'll notice that you've got this riser here, and if I flip the board over, it says grab from the connector to disconnect. This is a GPIO bridge that I don't think that we actually need. Actually, of course, yes, we do need it. Yes, we do need it. What I'm talking about. So if I hold on to here and it comes up, you can feel it turning very carefully there. It snaps out and nothing will be broken. Obviously, I don't want to break that USB one. Be very careful there. But yeah, this should come up. It should come up, he says. Careful bit of turn in there. All right, let's put it down and lift it up. You know what? I want to be a bit more careful with this. I will be right back. These are snips for 3D printing, so this will be ideal for the use for this. They should cut through that absolutely fine. There we go. And that is out. All I needed was a little bit of cut in there. And actually that GPIO board will probably also be used for us. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. We'll see exactly where that goes. So without further ado, as they say, let's get on with the build by turning this off first of all. So that is off. And the first thing we are going to do is get our little screwdriver. And on the back of this ATX board, get rid of that. You've got these two screws, so these are going to be removed like so. And what happens with these is they get screwed back in just a moment's time once we put the back plate on, because the back plate isn't on by default. We've already shown you that, and that should fit nicely over there and line everything up. Now I'm not sure whether we should be doing the MiSTer first or not. So what we're going to do is, I know that shielding may come off as well. We're going to take that off, put that over there, and actually do the MiSTer FPGA first. All right, so that goes down there. then we are going to take everything out of the MiSTer FPGA. Kill the power, kill the HDMI because that's not needed, and it should be a case of these 4 screws pop out. If you've bought one of these and you've assembled it yourself, you will know how it goes. If you haven't done, well, you get to see how they come apart. And it literally is going to be extremely quick to do. Building and setting these up, you know, takes zero time. That lifts off. We take away the 3 buttons that are not needed, so they go away. Let's put that over there as well. These sides will come out, and we can then start to undo these. I never did these in very tight when I did it. I didn't need to. These standoffs were never going to be really used or anything like that. All right. So these are stuck in because of the USB devices that we've got there. Come on. Now, one of the reasons I had this together, how it was to have it working, was I wanted to be sure that the SD card on the Nano DE10 was actually in place and working, and everything was configured as it should be. Because when we put this into this board here, we are not going to be in a position where we can get to the SD card very easily. All right, so we basically got to take this off here, and the memory can come off as well. So here we are, this side faces outward. Can we do it without taking the memory off, actually? Let's give it a go. Okay, carefully. There we go. So that's there. And this board here, this is the IO board as well. That will come off because that's not needed anymore. Oh, careful. There we go. IO board is off. And this is our Nano DE10 ready to go. So we're going to unscrew these items here. On, nearly there. Actually, that one's a bit tight. And the board is free, almost, right. The board is free now, so this is going to be installed on here. So what are we going to do next? With this? I think the first thing we want to do is get the board installed, and we've got these 4 points where we can go onto here, and then we are going to put the back plates on, put this back plate on, and then we will hook it up onto here. Yep, actually no, first of all we're going to put this on here just to protect it a little bit. So hopefully I've got these holes okay and lined up and ready to go. If not, we have these kind of nylon type standees that I've used for this that I got off the internet. They should move a little bit. Yeah, that looks as if it's going to be fine. All right, so grab that, and I say this is just to protect it, just to have it something to sit on until we're in a position where we can actually put it in the keyboard that I know that I've got coming for Christmas. So these are funny little nylon type screws here, you know, they're transparent, you know, obviously that they're not metal or anything like that, but they have a little bit of flex in them, which is suitable for a very easy project like this. You know, I got them from Amazon for about £9 for a very large box of these, more than what I will ever need, I think. But you know, I've got them, so that's good. But of course, they've got to go in the hole, haven't they? Come on. Where did it go? There it is. If they prove a pain in the neck, I will use metal ones. But you know, I'm happy with these so far. In fact, I'm having a look here that the hole is actually a bit big. The hole is a bit big that you've got here. So these standees will go. Oops. These standees will go all the way through if I don't drop it on the floor. Yeah, they're going to be pointless. Damn it. All right, best laid plans and all that. So, all right, let's put these back in their little box that they may have a use at some point in the future. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cheat by I'm going to get some more standees that were already present in this box, some nylon ones here. And we've got these 4 now, and I think we can use those because they're going to be a little bit wider to screw everything in place. There we go. That works fine. That works absolutely fine. I was always taught to screw diagonally when you were screwing things in. I might as well go with what I was taught to see whether it does work. Alright, so that's sort of there. Is that one going to go in as well? I say this is just to hold everything in place. And we'll put the last one in here. Not perfect, but we've got our board. And yeah, that can rest on there to at least protect the bottom of it for what we're looking to do. Okay, so first course of action is to get our Nano DE10 board installed on here. So looking at the ports that we've got, we know that we've got an HDMI that goes here. So this is going to be at the back. Perfect. And we're going to take the original screws that we had from the MiSTer FPGA from the top of the case that we used, and we're going to use that to put these in place here. Fortunately, these are magnetic and not nylon, so we don't have the original problems that we had with the nylon ones. Come on, in you go. Do you not want to go in? Are you a different size, I wonder? Let's take that off for a moment. Is there? Ah, there seems to be a little bit of cellophane on the tops of all of these. I don't understand why they're not screwing in. It should have pierced that cellophane straight away. All right, so now we've popped the cellophane on these 4 standees. We're going to go again, hopefully with 100% more success. I can't believe it didn't pop it on its way down. You know, it should have done. All right, perfect. Number 1 is in. So you can get an extra large heatsink for this that I was thinking of using, but I've got a bit of a challenge. I have this real-time clock on my MiSTer FPGA and I want to keep the real-time clock, so I'll probably leave it off and use that. But I know the cases can have fan cooling as well, so you know, we're not exactly going to be in a position where this thing is going to get way too hot. Now, what I've just realized, and mistakes happen when you're rushing to do things, is we haven't put in the USB port here. So fortunately, we've only done 2 screws of the 4 screws that we need to do, and it's a very, very easy fix. But we need to connect this USB port here to this connector here. There we go. And while we've got this up, I think this here is a heat probe. I've got a gut feeling that that is a heat probe. All right, so let's carefully push those in. You can see them going in there, I hope. And we're back in a position to screw this back together if I don't knock the screws everywhere. You know, I don't know whether it's charm, but I'm doing this live, so to speak, here, and I don't know how much I'll edit the video. You know, there was a bit of gap where I walked away to get these. You know, that will probably be edited out and just very quickly merged together. But I think I'll probably get the thing at the moment is keep it all together just so that you can see how these works, how these things are built, so to speak. See the errors that I make, and you know, it's not snip, 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 fast, fast, fast. It's done in a way that, you know, you can see how all of it is slowly put together by me. So if you do choose to order one of these boards, then you're in a position where you can follow along with this and you get everything you need. Now, there is a plus version of this board that currently is unavailable, and the plus version has tape out, and we are going to be using tape out as well, even though you think, well, how can you do this? You know, you don't have that. Well, we do actually have that, because on, let me see, let me get it undone. On this board here, the IO board, we had a tape out module that I think will plug into here quite happily if we've got that set up. And if it does work, we will be able to use this for a little bit of fun as well. So anyway, one more screw and the tape out was here. You know, I would have actually liked it if it did keep it. But, you know, you can't have everything in the world. You can't have everything in the world. So, right, that is screwed on there. So that's our Nano DE10 board there. And, you know, you've got the ports here that you can see. Let's turn that around a little bit. And we now need to put the back plane on here. So the first thing we want is the shield. And the shield goes there. And then we get the back plane. And that should pop on quite nicely if all our ports are lined up. And there we go. I think that does. So now we need to find, where did I put these? There we go. So one can go there. One can go there. We probably need to tighten these up. We swap the head of our screwdriver very easily, one-handedly. Put that there. Oops, slipped a little bit. But we don't even really need the screwdriver. We don't even really need the screwdriver. And then that's there. And that, to me, everything looks in a really, really good place. So that's going to pop back down for a moment. And we got the USB connected here. We showed you the network cable as well. That's going to go here and here. So, you know, we'll pop that in just now. Bang. And there it goes. And then we've got this cable here that's going to plug directly into the MiSTer FPGA. Now, where does it go? It's not going to go in there because there's too many pins, so it can only go in there. and then we'll just bring that down to here, and that is firmly connected. So yeah, we are very nearly done with this. We are very nearly done, but there's a couple more bits to do. So we've got this board here that I thought, yeah, we don't need this at the beginning. Well, we will need this because we've got to get the DE10 talking on this bus here. So I think this is for the functionality that you have for the reset menu and user. Not 100% certain, but we'll just push that down. It should rest on there and push quite nicely to be there, but it's not going in yet. Is there a problem? Is there a problem? Houston, do we have a problem? Does it go all the way down even? Does it need to? Yeah, I think it does. All right, wiggle you up. Okay, let's start from here. Everything is lined up. I'm looking here at the lines that you can see here. There's still a gap to go on the right. There we are. Eventually did it. It takes a little bit more force, but if you look, you're not going to see it. But if you look very clearly here, there's a couple of millimeters that it doesn't go all the way down on this board that's securely there. So I think that is absolutely fine. So next steps is we need to have a look to see whether this is actually going to work. So the screen is there, we can see that. Let's move that out of the way. And oh, and by the way, if you're putting this in a slimline ATX board, you can cut this here. There's a little line here to actually make that fit as well. So we want to put HDMI in here. On, in you go. And we want to put power on this side. All right, now I don't expect this to work when I power on because we are missing one key thing, but we're going to give it a go. So I flip the power on there and it has power to the board. It's got power to the board. Have we got anything here? Is this TV working? So we've got no signal on here. This has just got power to the board, but it's not come on. But that's kind of what I expected. And why did I expect that? Well, think this is an ATX type case, and ATX cases, they have power switches, which we haven't got. You know, we don't have that, but we do have that because we've got this little product that I've got here. This product should give us temporarily, I hope temporarily, power and LED. So I'm having a look here and we've got LED there, power LED and power there. So I think it's going to be those two ports that we have. All right, so let's undo this. And the power switch can go there. And then these two effectively can just sit on the end right here. All right, perfect. And now we have this little switch that might do the job we need it to do. So we're going to power on again. And there you go. It is booting up, I think. Have we got life on here? There! MiSTer FPGA is working on here. So this board is absolutely working. So we're going to just pause here for 1 second while I do a little bit of tidying up here, just to get things going as they should be, get things how I want them to be. In fact, we'll turn off just for a moment. There you go. Double click on that little button to turn it off. I think it turned it off. We have to assume it turned it off. But all these lights are still on. Ah, it reset. You know what? We'll turn it off there. So here we are back in the room. Now, one of the things that you saw on the demonstration of the keyboard we had was NFC working. Well, this is basically an early build of the NFC reader here and this cable that I've got here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to test the NFC still works. So we're going to plug this into, where shall we plug it into? We don't have that many ports, so to speak, yet, because we haven't got the keyboard fully loaded up. I think we can probably get this into the back. So there we go. We'll put this into the back there. All right, and we are also going to go to our MiSTer FPGA that we had before and find the 2 USB devices that we had here. So this one here just temporarily can go there. Is that going to go in? It's a bit tight. Oh, I don't want to struggle with that later. All right, that can go in the back. If we just take a look here, was there 2 there? Yes, that can go in the back there. Ooh. This is not going to be a problem on the final case, by the way. And finally, I had one more USB port, which is somewhere around here. Oh my God, what a mess I make. What a mess I make. Yep. And we put the second one in here. There we go. Second one goes in there, straight down, hopefully. All right, perfect. Now, what we're going to do is I want to test this NFC reader to make sure everything is working as it should be. Power on the board there. Power on there. Wait for the screen to go there. And the MiSTer FPGA has just booted up, so we are going to get Pac-Mania that we've got here. Hold it across. And there is Pac-Mania for us working as well. Can we have some volume, I wonder? Okay, that wasn't volume, that was a different button. Worst things happen at sea when you do these videos. There you go. We've got Pac-Man working quite happily there. Now, we mentioned, let's turn that down, we mentioned, actually I turned it off, then I did the same bloody thing again. What a twat. I pressed the auto button there to get it to come back. This little screen is a little bit flaky at times. In fact, you know what? We will just reset. It's this screen. This screen, as I say, gives me a fair bit of trouble once in a while. It's behaved for a little bit, but yeah, could be a little bit better. All right, so one of the things that we mentioned was I was very interested in having to do tape input. You know, that is quite important to me here. And on the back of this board, you know, we've got this little module that I want to try and get off without probably having the right tools available to me. But we will have a look. We will have a look. Or I might be able to. Yes. All right, so that will come off. I don't know why the screen hasn't come up on my misbehaving screen. We'll give it a moment. We have to give it a moment. We have no choice but to give it a moment. And we'll pop that back down there. And that can go over there for the moment. All right, let's take another look at this screen. What are we not doing? What are we not doing? Power. Let's try you. Oh, yep, that's a bit loud. So that's the background music I have playing on my MiSTer FPGA, which is there no more. So yeah, I'm very interested in seeing whether we can put a use to this particular module, because the port doesn't exist there for this. So we are going to shut down the MiSTer FPGA, and we are going to put this literally just there. So it used to screw into the upper part of this board case, but it doesn't anymore. Let's do a little power on. In fact, not do a power on, because I need to find something to use. There you go, we are nearly there. We are going to be using this keyboard to do a little bit of control, and something else I've got in my hand, I hope, I truly hope, which is going to need some power from over here. Dear Lord, struggles, struggles, struggles. There we are. So that is just out of shot for you. You can see the corner of whatever I care about just there. Power this back on. Okay. Oh, and power the MiSTer on with our little switch. That helps a lot, doesn't it? All right, so there's our MiSTer. All right, using this keyboard here that we've got over here that you can just see the corner of, we are going to cursor down, and we are going to go into computer. And we're going to go into ZX Spectrum. I actually want a bit of volume for this, actually, unfortunately, so hopefully it's not going to be too loud, and we'll see how it comes. Come on, that's volume. There we go. And we're going to go into tape loader. Now, what we have here is this lead will plug eventually. In fact, let's plug it into here. So we're plugging that lead into there. That already tells me that I need to do something about the slippy cable that we've got here. And we're going to plug this lead into there. And here we are. We're going to hit play. I always love the idea of being able to load things into your MiSTer. You know, it's so cool to do this. This is an Arduino, I believe it's pronounced, data player that you have here. And we'll just let the title screen go, and they will kill it at that point, because you know you don't want to see the whole game load in. But Sinclair Spectrum games loading in, and that cable will help me be able to do this going forward. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. So I stop that. So what we have is we have this data player that allows me to load in games to a Sinclair Spectrum. We've got this card reader that allows me to load in games to the Sinclair Spectrum. So we are very blessed in terms of, you know, how we can do this, what we can do, and games that we can put in. One game that I always loved, I don't think I've done a video of it on the channel, is there was a game called Software Star by Kevin Toms. You know, we could just pop that over there and boom, it's going to load in. There you go. So obviously a lot quicker than using the tape drive, but that was a bit of fun and games to actually show you. Time to power off one final time, I think. I hope. And you know, this is working really well, but we're gonna take that out because we don't need it for the next demo. We do not need this for the next demo. What we need is this little board here. So this little board that you can see here is an audio booster. I've got this. I bought this. I thought, yeah, let's go for this one. I bought this board. You can get this with a lot of other things as well. And we thought, yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see how it works. So maybe I'm just being a bit anal here, but I'm actually unplugging the power for this one, and that goes on there. This is meant to give better audio. Now, all we've got is we've only got the tinny audio on that speaker, so it's going to be quite hard to tell. But you know, we've got the MiSTer, and we know that it plays music on the menu. So let's plug that back in, turn that on, hit the button here, and wait and see what happens. So hopefully this screen will pop into life in a moment's time. So that's down to volume 1. Let's turn it up to volume 3. You know, I'm not 100% certain how that sounds. So we are going to go in and we're going to pick a game. I know it's a bit loud. But it's just for the purpose of trying to hear it. I need to start the game. I need to start the game to get it playing. Right, there we go. It was in demo mode. You know what? I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's kill that. All right, so that's there, and that works. We're just going to do a reset. Did that turn it off, or was that the reset? There's an action with this board. It does multiple different things, depending on how many times you hit the buttons and what you do, and that was a reset. All right, so we have got, let's have a look. Where are we? Our IP address is there. That's absolutely fine. 22nd of December, 2126. That sounds about right to me. Okay, and that completes the installation of the Ironclad board. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I say a little bit different to what we've done, and I'll leave it in pretty much, not mistakes because there wasn't really any mistakes, but some of the faffing around that we did, so you could see how simple it is and some of the challenges that you can have doing this. But I would say that this board is very, very much ready to be going you know, into my system. You know, I did buy some additional stuff. You know, I did have the Mr. Pi hat that I bought for this and a couple of other things, but you know, I bought those parts to get them while you can, and we're just going to build on this as we go. But yeah, very, very happy with how this turned out. Very happy that we can load in games using this particular module that you have here, that you plug in, that was not part of the Ironclad or anything, even though it came on an old system. Hi-Fi Boost seems to be working well. This little device I found on Amazon, it's so sweet, but it worked to do what we need to do, and you've even got the power there, the flashing power, and various other bits and pieces. So yes, we will wrap this up here. But yeah, I'm pleased with this purchase. You know, I look forward to putting it into the proper case, not having it on this platform that we've got. But for the moment, yeah, everything is in a good place. Thank you for watching.